Hey interwebs, JackitK here, and welcome to the real part 11. Which I mean, not to say that those other episodes aren't worthy of watching and that, but this is going to be the part 11 that actually makes its way into part 12. And apologies for spreading out so much. I was going to make it a little less painless, have that last video you saw be a bonus I show at the end. Possibly even have my first attempt and this attempt in one single video, but long story short, life got in the way. And there's a lot more factors to it than that. Feels like the past couple months I've had this stupid head cold that just won't completely go away, and when I have been feeling well enough to commentate, I haven't been feeling up to it. A bunch of dumb little stuff like that just adding up here and there. And I'll admit, one of those many excuses in keeping me doing the commentary for this part is just not knowing what to talk about. Feels like I've went into all the stories that I could tell. I mean, last part I've kind of went into things way beyond Pikmin. Only had a few ties to the game here and there. And yet I don't think I have the heart to speed things up and make this part any shorter than it is, because it's an effective run, so it's actually going to feel a little shorter than some of these other runs. Especially considering that a lot of these videos have been the whole day, including some failed attempts. So yeah, that will definitely make it feel shorter than usual. I guess one thing I should bring up right away, if you couldn't tell by the video description or any foreshadowing in previous videos, I am going to get all the ship parts in here in a single day, and yeah, that means 6 whole ship parts in a single day. Sounds pretty nuts considering how my pace has been throughout this point in the game. Which reminds me, I've intentionally been staying away from walkthroughs and guides throughout this entire time of playing Pikmin, because for this video I just want to see what I can do on my own merit. And the original intent was to have things I do in the future, like streams, be a lot of these pretty well to the point I was just about to make, actually. This video series is not supposed to be my most perfect run of Pikmin ever. It's just supposed to be kind of a warm up for things to come. But then my inspiration to do streams for Pikmin kind of faded out. Kind of when I got to the point of I'm not really feeling like lugging my computer all the way 2 floors up to 2 floors down every time I want to record, and then back up again when I want to edit. In a pretty nifty miracle, I think I had just enough to carry both those things back, but I got better things to do with my Pikmin than to grow my army a bit more. I discovered a bow spirit. It is the dock of my ship, or something along those lines. Oh, I thought they'd be smart and do something like go across the fire, which I took them across, so I could do a little bit more multitasking, but nope. The game developers intend for that bridge to be down, so I guess this is how they ensure they actually take the time to build down the bridge. As I was saying though, maybe someday, I would love to practice runs of Pikmin, because as I'm recording a commentary for this, and if you couldn't tell, I've well recorded the gameplay for Pikmin all the way through. And while I could go into foreshadowing stories about the editing process, why I really brought that up is because since I've done doing the game, I actually did some googling and looked up things in regards to Pikmin, just for potential future runs of the game, and oh boy, the Pikmin scene on this game is nuts. For some reason I thought 12 Day was at least close to the world record of the minimum amount of time you could beat this game in, cause yeah, it is finite. You can only do so many actions, even if you do them out perfectly, in the course of a single day. And I was trying to figure out what the best way to do a glitchless run is, because I assume with glitches and exploits you could pull this game off even faster than you normally could. And either way, look at it, I was blown away. I think the min used to be 8. For some reason I got stuck in my head that a glitchless run minimum is 10 days, but I can't find anything to confirm this. Well, I'm reading online, basically says that the min days that you can complete this game in used to be 8. Someone found some tricks that lower it down to 7, and most recently it got lowered down to a 6-day run, because in that discovery they figured out how to do the distant spring, yes, that area we're in right now, get all the ship parts in a single day. Speaking of parts, at last, my pilot seat. Once I get this installed, my cockpit will be back in order. Soon, my rides will be much more comfortable and with ease. By the way, this is one of the more optional parts. You can complete the game without this one in particular. Just figured I'd throw some random trivia in the mix before I go back to talking about speedrun strats ahoy. But before I go into that, I noticed that we're just about to get a part back to base. So I do want to be around to read that stuff off. And we go into the hull. What will it be? You may have seen. Number 2 Ionian jet. The ads for these jets boast that they'll be excellent mileage as easy on the family budget. Etc, etc. 4 more to go, and wouldn't you know, one's on its way as we speak. So yeah. Actually, figuring out how to do the distant springs in a single day is what lowered it down to a single day. I might as well just go down the list. It started as a 10-day run. Then people discovered ways to lower it down a little bit more by using bottom rocks to get this Orion roller gate to make a 9-day run possible. Then routes were optimized, and a glitch was discovered that allowed Olimar to get pushed by a spotty pole bear into out-of-bounds territories into the section of the UB lamp. With this, players could take Olimar and get some blues out of bounds to reach Grove's reactor without the use of a golden candy pop-up. No, excuse me, that caught me off guard. Speaking of parts, though. Bow Spirit. The so-called face of the dolphin. In point of fact, I designed it. Excuse me, I was just caught off guard by just how incredible that sounded that I couldn't summarize it. I just had to read it word for word. I had to make sure I was actually reading that properly, because I couldn't believe what I was seeing as I was reading it out loud. Anywho, they almost got the pilot seat back, so I might as well get my Pikmin prepared for the final parts up ahead. And that means getting rid of my reds, because I don't need them anymore. Because we got all the killing done, and fire done. The pilot seat. Picturing me in the cockpit, imagine me lifting off into space, fills me with excitement and amazement. So just 2 more. And now that we got a good chunk of time before we have to worry about the next part coming to base, I can go back to what I was doing. Trying to remind myself that these runs are real, despite how surreal they are. How nuts the Pikmin community is. And being able to speedrun this game so dang quickly. Just going through the little tidbit they have for 7 days, and it mostly just comes to optimizing your route a bit more. Essentially, when that discovery was made of being able to do the distant spring in a single day, it really inspired people to try to push some of the other larger areas of the game, into a single day. Eventually, routes were developed that allowed people to complete the Forest Naval in a single day. And of course, that guy became the first player to complete a 7-day run. And last but certainly not least, the 6-day run. Before I talk about the details of that though, let me remind you how nuts this is. There are 5 areas in the game. And remember that your very first day in Pikmin is a forced tutorial, where you're forced to only get one part. So this is the very minimum that you could possibly do this game in. Pretty much requiring you to do every single area in a single day. Because we're not counting the Forest of Hope, because the very first ship part is a forced tutorial. This is insane! And I'm saying this out loud to remind myself as much as it is to remind you guys. So when studying, trying to figure out how to do a 7-day run, people did discover back then that the Forest of Hope could be done in a single day. However, it had to be done on the 3rd day with many red Pikmin, and I believe that caused some contradictions in trying to complete other areas in a single day, and that's what kept it from becoming a singer sooner. So people continued to investigate it, and they eventually found ways to overcome problematic ship parts without needing blue Pikmin. And strategies were optimized further and further with the time. And of course, the guy that did the 7-day run was able to do the 6-day run. And then the rest of the article goes to remind people why a 5-day run is technically impossible unless they were able to find glitches that change the very mechanics of how days work. But honestly, in my opinion, when we get to that point, we might as well just do a 1-day run, because we're talking about just manipulating the fabric of time itself. And if you can manipulate the fabric of time, you could probably just keep resetting the timer back to day 1 or something dumb like that. The fact that there's even talk about it is nuts. The 6-day run is nuts. Well, let me tell you guys, I do complete this game in 12 days, and I am very proud of myself on that. I think I will strive to try to beat this game in 10 days, which honestly before starting this playthrough was insane to even think about. I was thinking like, 12 days was the very minimum that I personally could ever complete this game. And that would be on my own time without worrying about commentary or focusing. And yet here we are, yours truly is about to do a 12-day run. And I say that because I know this isn't a perfect run. I know that there's mistakes that I let slide just for the sake of avoiding infinitely redoing this part and have this Pikmin LP procrastinate itself even longer than it already has. It's for the sanity of both myself and you guys as the viewers. By the way, we're about to catch up to the point where I actually commentate again. So before I do, I want to give a shout out to the Pikmin Wiki. That's where I've been getting all this info on these 10, 8, 9, 7, etc. day runs. So if there's any facts wrong with that, you can blame them and not me. But I guess we got one more part to read off. And it's going to be live commentary from here. So before I, JackitK of the future, sign off, thank you all for joining me on this wild ride. And I look forward to sharing the rest of my experience of, spoiler alert, my best record run of Pikmin so far. And even if it's not right away, I hope to do more of this game in the future. Cronus Reactor. This reactor changes Pikmin in the space-time continuum into pure energy. Basically, is a big rubber band. 8. I have now recovered 28 to 30 parts. If I can find just one more, I should be able to increase my ship's capabilities. Oh man, and this is the only thing left. This stupid puzzle here. Granted, one of my second least favorite puzzle of the entire game, but got enough of the day to work with. Just hug the wall. And if no one falls here, don't know why you're all Like in the corner right there. Maybe it was a little too soon to start talking again. I was so certain this is gonna be the run. Please be enough. Thank goodness. Now I can probably get... If the Pikmin can build this up faster, we can get them out of this pit hole and not have to leave anyone behind either. Anything I'm overlooking that's obvious is what I was trying to say in all of its amazing sentence format. There's a couple Pikmin hiding in the corner there. Okay, everyone climbing up here. Oh dear. Dear. I'm not gonna have time to get the parts. I'm not gonna have time to get the empty corpses back, but it doesn't matter. UV lamp. The last part in this area. This handy light is great for tanning, but doesn't seem to have any relation to the dolphin's flight capabilities. I doubt that it will affect my escape from this planet. Perhaps there are other parts like it as well. 29 out of 30 parts, baby! It's 3:41 now, so probably spent a good hour and a half just redoing this day that I already did recordings from 2 months ago, but who cares? I care. Just gotta reunite with my Pikmin that are chilling out here for backup's sake. And I should have everyone. 28 out in the field. Everyone else is back at base, and no one is hanging out around elsewhere. Be nice if I could get back to base myself, but at this point it's better that I just... Oh, I gotta pluck Pikmin out from the ground. I didn't even think about that. Well, we did everything. That's like 6 parts in a single day. Definitely a new record in and of itself. So hopefully I got my filled of my spiel, because this next part is gonna be the last part. It may actually be a 2-day part, which in that case it could be the second last part and not the last part, but we're in this final area, and I will be getting into the details of exactly what's so great about that. At last, all but a single part remains. Since I recovered 29 of the missing parts, Dolphin's power is near capability. In the forest just below, I see a region where the final part must lie. Clearly, this is my final trial. My life support fails in 19 days. Courage. 8 lost in battle, that's not so bad considering that one of those Boraxes, however, can possibly be bum rushed. And 2 of those were definitely from bugs, because I just didn't felt like trying to take them out the patient way. Pretty good going into this last part. So next time on our Pikmin adventures, as I save over this attempt that I'm much more happy with, it is time for the final trial. I've been JackitK, and I'll see you all then. Take care.